Impact Wrestling. Let's make this clear. I want to make this, I got to do this as quick as possible, because this is going to turn into a 5-minute rant if I'm not careful. Or a 10-minute, it pisses me off so bad. You guys seen the Twitch stream. You guys seen Melissa. Now, I know a lot of people didn't like Josh that much, but at least Josh was more professional than she is. Let's make this really clear. You got Josh here. He may have been an annoying pain in the ass, but at least you knew what you were dealing with. At least he was professional enough. One, he did what he could to make sure the voices could be heard. In other words, him and John Collis could be heard generally. Yeah, sometimes he couldn't be heard, but he made sure generally you could be heard. Second, he was professional enough not to be eating while he's streaming. I'm sorry. This stream sucks so bad when it came to Melissa. One, she was botching so bad, not realizing her voice was not on. Honey, please, learn how to stream properly. Get someone there to help you. I know sometimes the stream can be funny on Twitch. I've heard it, I know it. But she needs work. Second, she was so freaking unprofessional. 90% of the time, she was clinking and clanking. If you remembered, all that noise was her food plate right in front of the freaking computer. Look, this is supposed to be a relaxed situation on Twitch. No problem. But there's a certain level of professionalism you must have. At least, don't, when your stream finally closes down and you let them watch the show, take the freaking plate away from the computer, put it on the floor, put it under the table. It only takes less than 10 seconds. My goodness gracious, that was cringy beyond hell. It was freaking annoying. And really, when it comes down to it, her personality sucks. And I'm not saying this because she's a woman. And lately, things have been going crazy, particularly in media when it comes to women. I'm not against any woman. I'm not. I'd rather see a woman do a job properly than just see a woman there, period. Put Gail Kim. I know Gail Kim is not there on Impact Wrestling. She's going to AEW, I know. But if she was, I'd rather see Gail Kim. I would rather see... Well, no, I don't mean Gail Kim. I mean Madison Rayne. Sorry. Gail Kim is there. I'd rather see Gail Kim there. Yes, if she's boring, I don't care. At least she'd probably be more professional. Then I'd rather see Madison Rayne there. And I know she's going to AEW, but I'd rather see Madison Rayne there. Hell, outsource the damn job and let, like, someone else that used to be part of Impact Wrestling do it. Pay them. I don't care. Let it be Angelina Love. Let it be Velvet Sky. I don't care. Hell, do whatever you need to. Get another woman in that position because she sucks. I wish Mackenzie had not left. Because I would rather see Mackenzie in that position. At least Mackenzie had more personality than her, and she didn't show a lot of personality. This woman cannot do it right. She gets on my freaking nerves and pisses me off. And mind you, and I'm saying this again, she's probably a sweet person in real life, not on stream. You probably would love knowing her, but on this freaking stream, she sucks. Now, this is almost 4 minutes. Let's move on to the show. Breathe. Let's detox, ladies and gentlemen. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shanti. I had to do it once. Okay. Tons of content. This is what we got in this show. This show had huge amounts of content. More than I think it needed. But a lot of it was done very well. But it did feel like a 10-pound turkey into a 5-pound bag to a certain extent. Doesn't mean it wasn't good turkey in the 5-pound bag, but it did feel crunched. Let's open with Ethan Page versus Rich Swann. One of the matches that was good. Almost every match in this show was actually quite good. It wasn't boring. It was good. I'm sure a lot of people like High Flying will like this show because that's what it was mainly focused around. It was done very well. When it came down to it, the match between Ethan Page, and I gotta say this about Ethan, he's really a good wrestler. He's a good strong style wrestler. For me personally, he seems to be strong style to a certain extent. Not Japanese strong style, but strong style to a certain extent. When it came down to it, Rich did win his match. OVE, I knew OVE had to come out. And they did. And here was the thing that I think kind of was a missed opportunity. For me personally, doesn't mean it's bad. Other people are going to like it. But for me personally, I feel like it is a missed opportunity. Once Sammy came into the ring and said, put the damn shirt on. We are family. Family is everything. You see Rich put on the shirt. Now mind you, if Rich had turned bad, had turned heel, I would have liked it more better than that. Because it would have been better if Willie Mack came down and then he nails his ass. Now, I'll make it really simple. Because we already know what happened. Rich Swann did not join OVE. He kicked the hell out of Sammy. And then he basically did two cutters on the Chris brothers. We already know this. But this is what I would have wanted if he had turned heel. Rich finished the match. OVE comes out. When it comes to Willie Mack, he comes out and he's ready to fight for Sammy. Well, not Sammy. I mean, Rich. He's standing in front of Sammy. He'd already taken out the Chris brothers. He is ready to start destroying. And Rich again tries to be peacemaker. And it doesn't work. And then, like I think I said in a couple of videos before, that Rich gets sick of it. But in this situation, he destroys Willie Mack. Done. He destroys his ass. And then he stands in front of Sammy. And he says, I love you. Give me the shirt. And he doesn't throw it at him. He gives it to him. And then he puts it on and he hugs him. The Chris brothers come in and they're grabbing on Rich. But then it is Sammy that's telling him, back off. This is my family. And he's telling his minions to back the F off. This is my family. And they walk away together. That would have been better. Now, mind you, is this a good story seeing that Rich still refuses and resists? And now there's going to be a match between him with Tommy Dreamer and I believe it's Willie Mack against the Chris brothers and Sami Callihan. For me personally, I'd rather see Rick turn heel. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Let's do this now. Alyssa comes out to the ring. Now, either she means what's going to be stated or this just work. Because, honestly, Alyssa Edwards cannot talk. I don't know what possessed them to do this. I really don't. I don't know why they let her go out there with a live mic. Because she sounds so bad. I'm sorry. I'm not against people who are with people who can talk. I'm just against people who can't talk very well. And they stick them in a situation where they shouldn't be talking at all. It should have been, if she had to talk, it needed to be short and sweet. She dragged that sucker out and it was horrid. Then Dempsey Hit Squad comes out. And simply put, when it came down to Alyssa, she said she's ending her contract soon. Her contract's almost over. And she pretty much said she's considering hanging it up and starting a family. Dempsey Hit Squad comes out. And this is where things begin to get a little difficult with the show for me personally because of what's been going on in social media. Because let's be honest here. We've been getting bad movies, bad press, bad comments on Twitter and Facebook, mainly due to the fact that what happened in the last 2 years with Hollywood, where there was so much abuse by directors who basically made female and male actors, mainly female actors, go suck dick and fuck them. I'm sorry for talking dirty. I don't mean to, but this needs to be stated in this respect. Basically, when it comes to Hollywood, they want to fix this. And they're overcompensating so bad by pushing a feminine agenda. It makes everything bad. And unfortunately, we're getting that in Impact Wrestling. Now, mind you, doesn't mean it isn't done, at least okay. They may not be going over the edge with it, but it's understandable why they did it with the Deputy Hit Squad and Scarlett Bordeaux, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But pretty much the Deputy Hit Squad said, go home. You're not needed here. You're nothing. And I could elaborate more, but pretty much you don't need to know anymore other than she smacked one of the people, Gamma, in the face. And then Eddie comes out to defend his wife. He basically gets his ass handed to him until Eli comes out and saves his ass with no kendo stick. He just comes out and tricks the ass saying, oh, I want this. Oh, yeah, I want this. I want to kick his ass. And then he kicks everybody's ass. And he immediately turns, you could say face-ish. He's not a betweener. He's kind of a face, kind of. He's still, this is Eli Drake. Yeah, he still is going to try and screw you in some way. Yeah, but in the end, Eli Drake is still Eli Drake, no matter if he's a face or a heel. He's still good as long as you book him right. And pretty much after that was over, Eli's telling them, let's be a tag team. I don't want your thank. Let's be a tag team. We got something. And Alyssa agrees with him. Now, if this is still leading between them to actually have a feud, they're dragging this out a lot. But if they're not going there, and they're going after the tag titles eventually, I'm not fond of it. I want Eli Drake, and I want and Eddie Edwards in the main title scene. Do not want them as a tag team. I do not want them going after Lucha Brothers or LAX. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't want them. I don't need them. Now, let's move on to, well, why not? Scarlett Bordeaux coming in. Oh, wait. What was the guy's name? Gary Grissenbergy? Whatever his name is. Disco Inferno. I'm just going to call him that because I don't remember his name. For weeks, this guy has been screwed over multiple times. I don't know why. Why are they putting him in it? Why? Found out why. Scarlett Bordeaux finally comes to the ring wearing red. If anyone's seen The Woman in Red, saw that movie, it's okay. Yes, you get panty shot, but I like this one better because at least it's got a better story. I'm kidding. Anyway, you got Scarlett going in the ring. She basically messes with Disco Inferno. What is his name? Glenn. But it really reaches a point when he gets into the ring and says, honey, you can't wrestle. Go home. Women's wrestling's a joke. The evolution and revolution is a joke. Well, to be honest, he's honest about it because if no one doesn't like to hear this, I'm going to say this truthfully. When it comes down to it, the WWE had a perfect moment to treat women's wrestling like they should be treating it, with respect. And now it's a joke. They had one moment and they blew it. So what Glenn said wasn't a lie. They made it into a mockery now. I am angry that women's wrestling being treated so bad. But in this situation, even though it is kind of like identity politics and sexism and garbage like that, that can go a little too far if you're not careful with it, Scarlett kind of balanced it to a certain extent. She smacked the crap out of his mouth and said, I can kick your ass. And he says, you couldn't beat me. I said, try me. He had a good line saying pretty much go home for a week. Go shop with your husband. Go do what you do. And then after a week, if you still think you stand a chance, come back and let's do it. So supposedly in 3 weeks, they're going to have their match. Okay. Scarlett Bordeaux versus Gilmore, the Disco Inferno guy, whatever his name is. I'm cool with that. Only thing I'm hoping is this is what I'm hoping for. They do not put more identity politics in it and feminist stuff into it. Unfortunately, Melissa did. Melissa did that when she was on stream. She was way overboard when it came to that social justice and whatever kind of garbage. I'm not into that. I care about people. Everyone is exactly the same. If you can't see it that way, you got a problem. Because it doesn't matter what sex you are, you're still a person. Just, it's silly. Anyway, Tessa Blanchard had an interview. Now, Tessa Blanchard is going to have a match next week against Jordynne Grace. If she wins, she goes after the title in 3 weeks. If Jordynne Grace wins, she goes after the title in 3 weeks. Yes, this is what I've been waiting for. Jordynne Grace, the successor to Rhino, versus Tessa Blanchard, who I'm not a super large fan of Tessa, but I appreciate that she has, to a certain extent, improved her mic skills, made sure that her ring work is 100% bad, and I will say that she's following her character pretty well now. Now that she doesn't have the title, her character works better. She was rushed. That was the major problem with me. I now know what it was. So seeing this is good. Let's move on. Johnny Impact had a moment with his wife. And what is it? Melendez, whatever the guy's name. Melinda Files, whatever. I keep forgetting his name. But in the end, he's annoying as hell. He's doing a decent job being annoying, but sometimes it seems a little cringy. He interviewed Johnny when he was home with a neck brace, telling us that he now may need a neck fusion. But he still wants to face a Brian Cage to give him what he deserves, a fair match, so he can try and get his title if he can. Then you get the part I didn't like, even though it was done well. I didn't like it. Moose and Killer Kross had their moment. They spoke pretty well. But still, they're still in the main title scene, man. They're in the main title scene. I'm sorry. I know people like Killer Kross. And know people wouldn't mind Moose going into the tag division. But I'm sorry. How long do you keep Killer Kross doing the same thing? I said this in one of my comments. Oh, if we're going to keep Killer Kross, we need to do something different. We could have him attack everybody. Oh, he did that already. We can have Killer Kross, attack everybody. Oh, he did that as well. We can have him go after Johnny. Oh, he's done that multiple times. We can try and send him up to go after the title. Oh, he's done that not once, but now twice. What else can he do? What else can you hand this man that the story will change to? Because they're not changing the story between Johnny Impact and the Brian Cage. This is what people are not getting. If the story's not going to change, what is Killer Kross doing? He's spinning his wheels. Put him somewhere else. There's no mid-card title. There's no world title. There's no Impact Grand Championship title. Then either he's going to go after the X Division or he's going to go into the Tag Division. Or either that or he's going to do absolutely nothing. I'd rather have him in the Tag Division, go after LAX, and go after the Lucha Brothers when him and Moose can dominate everybody, because Lucha Brothers have not gone after anybody big. LAX has not gone after anybody big. I'd rather see two big guys beat the frack out of everybody than do nothing but stay in the main position and do nothing. You want to justify it? Please explain to me, what can Killer Kross do now? Because Killer Kross is not doing anything except spinning his wheels. And spinning his wheels with Moose. And spinning his wheels with Moose. They need something new. I'm sorry. Throw them both in the tag division for a little while. 3 or 4 or 5 months. Then bring them back up to the main title scene after Eli and Eddie have had their moment. You need something different. Now, we got at the end of the show, because I'm going to the end of the show. You have the Rascals, and what was the guy's name? Wiz, and Dez. I'd rather see Trey and Dez, because Wiz, yeah, he's a good wrestler, but I think Trey and Dez have better chemistry. And they went up against the Lucha Brothers, which was a damn good match. In the end, the Lucha Brothers won, which I wasn't surprised to. But then, the same problem Conan had earlier, because Conan spoke to LAX, spoke to Santana and Ortiz. He's telling them, please, listen, we're going to get things straightened out. I'm going to get you a tag match. I'm going to get you your shot again. But let me do my job. Do not screw around. Do not antagonize these boys. Listen, but don't antagonize them. And look what LAX is doing. They're not listening. Then you got the Lucha Brothers after their match, because they had a damn good match. And the best thing I loved about that segment with the Lucha Brothers and Konnan, they gave us subtitles. That made it feel more real. This is the WWE's foolish mistake. They can get people who work in the UN who can legitimately type out exactly what they hear, and they can scroll it across the screen when a Mexican or Japanese wrestler is there. They could do that, but they're too damn lazy and too damn stingy to do it. But seeing this was good. And basically, when you see that Konnan was saying, look, I'm proud of you guys, but LAX needs it. Well, let me crank that back. Because Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. told Konnan, you tell your boys, don't ever take our mask again. Don't you dare do that again. He said, look, they wouldn't have done it if you hadn't gotten in the face. This is what I've been talking about. You are family. They are our family. Do not take it there. And he's telling them they're getting their rematch. And he said, what? We ain't giving a rematch. Not now, not now. No. I'm not asking for one. I'm telling you they're getting a rematch. And when I come back next week, I want to know when. Tell me. And then Pentagon is angry because he doesn't like being ordered around by Konnan. Essentially speaking, this is where things have gone off the rails for me personally. I wanted Konnan to choose between the Lucha Brothers and LAX to make it something special. Kind of like what happened with the OGs dealing with Konnan. If Santana and Ortiz had been given an option to choose between dealing with King and dealing with Konnan, and let them kind of have confusion of who's the best person to be with, that would have given us a more compelling story. But if they're going down this route that I'm seeing them going, and they're just going to have the Lucha Brothers and LAX just fight one another and Konnan loses control and he walks away, it's a lost opportunity for me personally, because this should be about Konnan choosing who's the next one to be in lead. This should be about Konnan dealing with family. This should be about Konnan being the one who's going to motivate which one is going to be staying. Because as it stands, if he walks away, that's if he doesn't collapse because of a heart attack, because they could go down the angle as well. That he sees family fighting one another and he has a heart attack and he drops. And then they're going to have to do something about that in the story. I just see Konnan walking away from both sides and then they just fight one another. And to be honest, I don't want to see that. I want to see something different. But that's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, final thing I'm going to talk about. If I've forgotten anything, I'm sorry. The Dark War. That was the thing I was waiting for. The Dark War. Su Yung, an undead bridesmaid, and the alley with Father Mitchell there. Then you got the faces of Rosemary, who's shown so much cleavage. I'm in love still. But I notice there's something wrong with her. I don't know what it is. There was something off or something. I'm not sure what it was. But you got Rosemary, you got Jordynne Grace, and you got Kiera Hogan. And the thing that made it special, unlike the WWE, who doesn't do this anymore, the only time they did was Sin Cara, they made it special by making the room that they were doing the wrestling in reddish. It was hard to catch images of it because it looked so distorted. But you know what? It went with the mood. Now, was the match great? It wasn't that great. It was good. But in the end, by the time we were finished, Su Yung now lost her alley. Alley is no longer under Su Young's control. To be honest, I would have liked to see this at a pay-per-view instead of just a regular Impact. That's the truth. I wish they could have done this on a pay-per-view instead of Impact. It would have been more special, build up into it. But as it stands, this is what we got. And when it was all over, you got Alley, you got Rosemary, Jordy, and Kiera Hogan outside. Alley snapping at everybody with a collar on her neck. Because it seems now that she still doesn't have a soul. I thought she was going to get it back. I could be wrong, but I thought Allie was going to be turned over to Rosemary, and Father Mitchell was going to give her back her soul. So I'm kind of confused. I thought that was the deal. But in the end, Kira didn't want to leave. Kira said, I'm not leaving. I'm here to the end. And Rosemary said, the end is here. Leave. And they cut off. This was a ton load of content. And as I said in the beginning of this review, it was like putting a 10-pound turkey into a 5-pound bag. Doesn't mean the turkey wasn't bad, and doesn't mean the bag didn't stretch a little bit to try and compensate for it, but it felt a little crunched, like they put too much content in. But it still worked to a certain extent. Yes, it did. But it did feel a little bit rushed in some places. But that's just me. You guys tell me below how you felt about this show. Have a good day. Have a good night. And watch for my... Well, I am going to do the Fastlane review. I will be doing it. Peace!